All right, it's Sunday, November 20th, 2016. Got my Costco heater out. I've positioned it at the bottom of the stairs going into the house because I'm going to put the springs, I'm going to clean up the springs and the dust covers for the shocks. Clean them up with wax and grease remover. And then I'm going to set them in front of the heater so that they get hot. Well, not hot, but warm. Then I will mix up the epoxy primer so that it can induce, I think that's the term. Then we'll get those shot. I think they're going to have to be done in 2 passes. I don't really see a way to get them all done in one shot. But since they'll be warm, the epoxy should set up in a reasonable amount of time, and then we will shoot the aerosols at them. The springs will be gunmetal. The rings will be bright silver like the brake calipers. The shocks came with new retaining clips that are nickel plated or something like that, so they're very bright. So we have those so that they match, and then those I think are really supposed to be black, but I think that they get thrown away a lot apparently, and at $35 a pop, it would really suck for somebody to replace the shocks, lose those, and then have to spend $120 to replace them. So I'm going to paint them the same color as the springs, so that way it's clear that they're not part of the shock. And then the other thing that I was doing, I had cleaned some of the holes out on the diff from the paint in General Goo, and had to use my Craftsman tap and die set, which I've had for a long time. It's a good kit, but the product manager for this was a moron because there's no organizing paradigm for where these things go, and so it makes it and the writing's really tiny, and so it ends up being really hard to find stuff. So what I did was I got them all out, and I figured out the pattern, which was that there's like coarse and fine, and you can see that they get smaller. They're in groups of 5 on both sides. And so now all of the SAE ones are here on the right. All the metric ones are on the left. For the SAE ones, it was really easy. The coarse and the fine fit nice. These are pipe. The metrics weren't as obvious in coarse and fine, so I put a tilde in front of coarse and fine because both of the 9s ended up over here because they otherwise wouldn't fit. When this all gets dumped out, which invariably it will, it'll be a lot easier to put them back. And I also put in the sizes. I wrote it with Sharpie inside the wells, so it'll be easier to put them back when they do all get dumped out. Obviously it was a lot easier to write the metric sizes than the SAE fractional inches, but either way we should be in good shape. And then up here I had done the same thing with the dies. So the metrics are on top and the SAEs are on the bottom, and then one of these ones on the end is pipe. That's a pipe. So try to be organized, but I'm not very good at it. All right, quick update. These are sitting out in the heater. Last time I checked, they're in the mid 80s on temperature. The high's only going to be like 60 today. And the epoxy primer, I put a little reducer in it to thin it out because it's gotten thick because it's kind of old. But it's been inducing for half an hour now. So I'm gonna get the gun, open the garage door, shoot those, and like I said, I think they'll take 2 passes. But the epoxy should set up pretty quick once it's sprayed. Oh, I also got, it's arrived today from Amazon, new Zerk fittings to replace these that were on there. I was thinking I was going to put Teflon tape on them, but then I realized that the way that they had these seals set up, the grease just comes out anyway. So being anal about keeping it in is pointless. So I'm going to get the gun ready and get shooting. Alright, did my first coat of epoxy primer. I think we got good coverage. For the first coat, so we'll let that flash off. Come back and shoot it again, and then we'll let that set up, and then we'll flip them over and we'll shoot the other sides. All right, so they're all primered. The longest part is cleaning the gun. Just takes forever, but these should be good. So hopefully tomorrow I will have time to shoot the aerosol paint on them, and then we'll be able to move on.